Nice job, Doug.
Thanks, Wade.
Commissioner Piker, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
I'll move it. Second.
Motion by Piker, second by Gage to approve the agenda. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. At this point, we will open the meeting up for any public comment. Is there anyone that would like to address the commission? Good morning.
Good morning.
If you'd let us know who you are, please.
You bet. Start my timer because I know I'm limited on time.
Yes, sir.
My name is Trevor Jones with Carbon Summit Solutions,
Okay?
and it's nice to be in front of Sharon and the members of the commission here. Brings me back some days of when we were in Pier. So real quick, just want to make sure I introduce myself. I'm really just I'm brand new to the company, so I'm trying to trim the lay of the landscape. Stopped in here a couple times, and one thing I think a consistent theme amongst the conversations is we need a little bit more communication. As Commissioner Gage pointed out last week when he asked, like, where you been, so I'll do my best to always be here so we can have a free flow of information, questions you have. That's primarily my main mission today is if you have those concerns or issues or questions, please get them to me. I'll do my best to run them down real fast as best I can based on, depending on how complex the question is. And another thing I know you talk about quite a bit, which is a good thing, is safety. My career is about safety, and I know Commissioner Weiss talked about it. So I've already talked with the sheriff, the chief deputy, and your emergency manager so we can have that free flow of safety information back and forth, because I know that's paramount to you and, of course, the citizens here in Brown County. So I just want to introduce myself. I'll certainly get out. You have my contact information, and I signed it, but if you want a card as well, I'll get that to you so you have an email or a phone number that you can call me at any time. Again, just to resolve any questions or concerns or issues you might have. I think that's part of your one of your conversations. You wanted more information, so I'll do my best to bring that information to you quickly.
Sounds good. Appreciate you coming in.
You bet. Thank you.
Is there anyone else to address the commission this morning? Anybody out there on the phone, online? Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to the second reading and adoption rezone ordinances 219 through 221.
Ordinance 219, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title 4, second revision Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone the following described property filed by Clarence and Lori Habeck and is hereby granted, and Title 4 second revision Brown County ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06 Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to Chapter 4.14 Highway Commercial District, H-C. The proposed Lot 1, Bim and Lori's Venture Addition in northwest quarter of Section 9-T123N-R63W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance number 219? We have a motion to approve.
Move it.
Motion by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Gage. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next ordinance.
Ordinance 220, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone the following described property filed by Don and Christine Bruns is hereby granted, and Title 4 second revision, Brown County ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06 Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to to Chapter 4.07 Mini Ag District N-AG, the Bruins Outlot 1 in the southeast quarter of Section 28-T 122N-R62W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
I'll move it. Oh, sorry.
No, anyone here to speak to ordinance 220? We have a motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Feldheim to approve. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 221, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances, as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances, as amended to rezone the following described property filed by Jeremy and Lindsay Lesner, is hereby granted, and Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances, is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06 Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to Chapter 4.07 Mini Ag District, M-AG, Lot 2, Hagman First Subdivision in the southeast quarter of Section 26-T 124N-R63W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
Anyone here to speak to ordinance 221? I don't see anybody. Entertain a motion. Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Fikert, to approve ordinance number 221. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on, resolution 34-22 for reconveyance. That was a agreement on a tax deed property, I believe, that,
Yeah, I
came
can
to-
elaborate on it if you want. So this happened a couple of years ago. There was one, it was actually, we had posted the notice for the sale, and I think that one we ended up just selling on the sale. This one, we're real early in the process. We took the deeds June 27th. The elderly lady, a benefactor, found out the situation she's in, and they want to help her out and get her property back. So we got to do it by resolution if we're going to reconvey. The county commission can fix the price. The minimum is everything that's due and owed, and so that's what's in the resolution. The county can go higher if they want, but that's what we're trying to accomplish here. And then that won't take effect for 20 days, and then essentially we'll just treat it like a closing. But Patty signs the deed, we get a check, and go from there.
county's made whole, we get all the money owed to
And
us.
taxes are calculated through August, I think is what that figure in the resolution has.
Okay. Anyone have any questions on what we're doing here? All right. We have resolution 34-22, resolution authorizing the reconveyance of a real property to the owner of record.
I'll move it.
Okay, we have a motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks, Patty. All right, next up, insurance reimbursement and vehicle surplus. Mr. Lunsman, I believe that's you. Good morning.
Morning. After I'd asked you guys to surplus the one patrol vehicle, the assessor's office had expressed interest in that vehicle, and with the trade-in value of the $2,800, I think Dennis said it right, with the accident, put us kind of in a tough spot with our budget, because taking 20 grand out of a budget and not getting it brought back in any way, shape, or form hurts a lot. But in the same aspect, two things. First, I think the vehicle would be much well suited for the assessor's office, probably get more use than $2,800 in this trade-in for us. But in return, if possible, we'd like the insurance money back, or at least some of it, to help us offset some of those, because we were fine until that accident, obviously. Our budget was sitting just fine, but 20,000 you can't predict, you can't really plan for, nor do we want to plan for $20,000 out of our budget. If there's any way we could get our insurance money back, we would be setting fine for setting up for all our patrol cars, but then the assessors would be in much better place for having a newer vehicle with, much more reliable vehicle.
Well, to me, it just makes sense. That's why we have insurance, and that's the whole purpose of having insurance is to help recover from a loss if you have an accident. So whether we do it through a budget supplement later in the year or how we handle it, I guess I would leave that to the auditor's office, tell me what we've been doing in those cases, but that just seems to make most sense to me, is to get that money back into their budget because it came out of their budget.
I mean, obviously, we've had insurance claims before,
Right.
and evidently, but from an accounting side, state law must say that those monies got to go into the general fund.
Correct.
And so, I know some of those things change over the years too. I mean, it doesn't always stay the same, but I don't think, exactly right.
I think, yeah, it goes back into the general fund, but when it comes time for a budget supplement, whenever we do that later in the year, I would have no problem committing to getting you the majority of that insurance money back into your, maybe
Or at
less
least
than
we'll-
deductible or something.
Right, or something at least that covers what we're looking for to get our new
Right.
vehicles put on the road
Right.
properly, is what I'm looking for.
Well, the big thing is, at the end of the year, when you make the budget supplement, for a good explanation as to why those monies are going back.
Right.
That's a key there too.
And to me, it's a legitimate, expense
Correct.
and reimbursement, so. Anybody have an issue with us proceeding that way?
Well, I think it also helps out another department by taking that vehicle that's been
Exactly.
repaired, so it's kind of twofold.
It's, obviously, they're aware, or they've looked at both the other vehicle that we're going to surplus later on in the year, and they understand that we can't give them up just yet. We still need the transport, but as soon as we get the new vehicles in, then they certainly can have them. We'll have to take the cage out and stuff like that, but they're very well aware we'll take care of all of that.
I wonder if they've got an extra vehicle, I wonder if they will have an extra vehicle then to surplus out.
It sounds like they will have, Russ was in this morning.
Oh.
And if we have any questions for him, we'll have to come over. But they do have one that's, in need of going away. It's not very safe or reliable or trustworthy out on the road, so.
And both of these are 2014s, and we're still using them to go to Mitchell and back without any issues. The one does have some cosmetic issues due to a coyote, but, or used to be a coyote. But they've looked at it, they're deciding if that's good for them or not. Mechanically, it runs just fine. It's just a little
You're supposed to
cosmetic.
shoot them, not run over them.
The guy that ran over him would have loved to have shot it, I think.
To speak a little bit, Dwayne, on the auditor side of that.
Yes.
Since I handle the insurance part of it, when I file the claim, it's all, it doesn't happen where they send the check to us. Sometimes they'll send the check directly to the body shop, which then it does not become an issue to your budget.
Correct.
But we've had other departments kind of voice the same concern as Dave. With fairgrounds, I'm sure there's gonna be some big hits on there with the last windstorms. There was a lot of shingles damage to the fairgrounds. That's probably gonna total up pretty good too. And I know in the past, it's always just went into the general, and then my understanding was, yes, that if they wanted, then we could do the supplement at the end, but the rhyme or reason of why the insurance company sends one check to us one time and the next time to the insurance company, I have no idea. So,
That'd be a question for Weiss when he gets back as to what their policy is and why they do it differently. So.
yes, and to clarify, it should not be classified as insurance, it should be classified as a risk pool.
Okay.
For the record, just to keep things straight, that was an error on my part, and it should be classified as a risk pool, not insurance.
So it should be labeled risk pool reimbursement versus insurance.
Yes.
Okay. even though it's kind of one and the same thing, but I see what you're saying, so. All right, so I guess we're all in agreement that that's the way we'll handle it. At this point, you can rest assured that we will do what we need to do later in the year to make the budget whole, and
Appreciate
at
it.
least to the extent we're able.
Thank you. Now, on the, you guys are already passed to make that other vehicle a trade-in. I'm assuming you guys are gonna have to change that so that it can go to the assessor. I don't know how you guys have to do that.
I'll have to look back in the minutes, I don't know when that was, I think it was when I was out.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. that
Yeah,
day.
I can look back, but I do remember some kind of a motion that the vehicle be declared surplus for sale.
Let's
Correct.
put that on the agenda for next week then to
Just to make it
rescind
clear.
that motion to declare it surplus.
That trade in affect the purchase of the vehicle that we were,
No,
they don't have a problem with, all of a sudden we decide not to trade that vehicle in.
not at all. Nope. Nope. They're very easy to work with, not hard at all.
What vehicle was that for, Dave? What vehicle was that for?
For the trade-in?
Yeah, what,
That was, the trade-in was the one from,
the 2014, what?
2014, yeah, I had the VIN number on that
Yeah.
sheet when I went in, but,
Okay,
because both of them that we're gonna end up trading in are both 2014s.
and they're the Interceptors?
Yes,
Okay,
both of them are,
so I know what I'm looking for.
yeah.
Thank you.
And the VIN number should be on
Yeah.
that letter that I sent over.
Okay.
Okay, anything?
All right,
else for me?
anybody
Thank
else
you.
have anything for Dave?
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming over, Dave, we'll take care of it later in the year.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll put it on the agenda next week to rescind that motion. You remember to do that, Dave?
Yep, I've got it on here.
All right, brings us to the end of our listed items, now the consent calendar, Dave.
Approval of the general meeting minutes, July 19th, 2022.
Move it.
Motion by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Approve claims.
Move.
Motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Plats.
We have a boatload of them today.
Move it.
Motion by Feldheim.
I'll second it, but there's one in there that involves my brother, and I don't know if I should refrain from voting on that, or if it makes any difference. I mean, I'm not connected in any way, other than the fact that it's, for the record, make no difference to me. I guess if there would be any,
We want to separate that one out. Would you advise that, Ross? Do you-
I made the motion, can we just have Mike sign it?
Yeah, but then he's just got abstained.
If we could, yeah, make a motion to approve all of them except the FICA one, and then we'll make a separate motion on that one. Is that the best way to do it, Ross, or
That's
doesn't,
fine.
doesn't it matter? Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so your motion is to approve the plats except the FICA plats, is that correct? And your second? Got that, Dave? All right, so we're approving all the plats except for the FICA in this motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, need a motion on the FICA plat.
Move it.
Okay, motion by Feldheim, second by Gage, to approve the FICA plat. Commissioner FICA will be abstaining from this. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Leases.
Move.
Motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Approval of legal assignment.
Move.
Motion by Feldheim,
second.
second by Fikert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And sheriff's report.
Move.
Motion by Gage, second by Sutton. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We want to let you in on the
We gotta
action
let-
too.
we gotta let you be part of the
Everybody's
action.
half asleep this morning. All right. Any other business come before the Brown County Commission this morning? we've had a request for, executive session for personnel.
I have one other thing that, just for the, access to the Elm Lake is being, I had some calls, and it really isn't the county's responsibility that they're talking about this road going up. That's other entities, and people are saying, well, why isn't the county doing something? Well, I don't know if that, in my opinion, isn't the county that's involved with putting this road up to the dock on the south end. That's between Game Fish and Parks and other entities, am I correct in stating that? So,
Well, the way I understand it, when the whole, Elm Lake Dam issue was brought up, that was part of the negotiations whereby the county would kind of oversee the building and the relocating of access to that west, boat ramp. And Dirk agreed to take it on in conjunction with McPherson County, and money was allocated from leftover funds on the dam that would help reimburse. It would be no cost to either county. But Dirk is overseeing the project, so that's our involvement, and he'll be letting the bids, and from there, they'll decide who will do the work, whether it's a private contractor, depending on the bid, or the counties. That's the county's involvement, is just kind of management of it. But it's not our responsibility to replace it, and that was part of the negotiation.
Now, there'll be no direct cost or money coming out of the county highway department. It'll be, if there is anything, it'd be in-kind stuff, but more than anything else, it's just making sure they get the contractors lined up. And I think Game Fish and Parks, somewhere between $250,000, $300,000, some leftover money from the dam construction, and then South Dakota Game Fish and Park,
School and public
School and Public Lands.
well, the reason I bring it up is people are thinking it's the county's responsibility to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it up to the point that, just so people understand that, we're not actually the ones that are, we're overseeing it, but we're not the ones that are actually gonna be in charge of the work that's done by another entity paying for that particular project.
Right, we're just kind of managing the project for them from a local standpoint, so.
And then I think another topic, but kind of the same area, Brown County 5, initially, the intent, I don't believe, was to grind Brown County 5 this year, but after all the hauling that went on for the construction of that spillway at the Elm, it tore Brown County 5 up so bad that basically the best solution was to grind it, let it go through a freeze-thaw cycle, and I would be amazed if we don't get more phone calls on that issue. That was not the initial intent. The initial intent was to go do some pre-leveling and then asphalt, but now it's ground up, and probably the right thing to have done, really. But it's gonna cause some inconvenience and some dissatisfied people.
Well, unfortunately, when you have a project that size with the amount of hauling they had to do,
Right.
it's inevitable that you may have some road breakup, and that's a result of what happened.
If you want to get a better end result, I think what is being done is probably the best solution.
Right. All right, anything else to come before the commission this morning?
I don't think, I'm talking to Rachel out at the fair, they're still in need of some volunteers, so if anybody knows any groups or people that wanna do any volunteer work out there, they could still use them, so.
All right, we'll be going into exec for at least personnel. Do you have any legal, Ross?
Yeah, I got a quick legal.
Okay. Entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Move.
Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in exec. All right, we're out of exec, and no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We will be holding a budget session after we adjourn, just to wrap up our 2023 budget. If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.